Welcome YouTubers. This is a comparison of a Homelite string trimmer 2-stroke gas versus the new Ego 56 volt electric string trimmer. It's really my old versus new. They're not necessarily in the same price league. I think this Homelite is about $90 with the straight shaft at Home Depot, and the Ego is twice that. It's 200 bucks. So not really in the same league price wise, but it's just old versus new. I've kind of always hated this Homelite. It's difficult to start. There's a whole starting procedure. If you don't get it right, then forget it. You have to come back a couple hours later or something. If you get it right, then you can warm it up and it's good to go. Vibrates like hell. Really don't like to go much more than 10 minutes or so on it, because your hands just get all vibrated even with gloves on. But it runs, it does the job, and that's what I've been done for the last couple of years. The Ego is so far is much better, other than it's electric. That's one of the cons there. But I'll do the startups here, and of course Ego, you just charge the battery. This one here, you got to put gas in. I've already got gas in it, so the startup procedure for this one is pretty simple. There's a run, a half, and a full. I've never been able to get it to work particularly well on run, so I usually do full choke, prime it about a dozen times, and then we'll be giving it gas and giving it a yank till it barely catches over, and that might take 1 to 5 yanks, and then you switch this back to half and you give it full throttle yanks, and hopefully it catches over once or twice. If it does, you keep it running, let it idle up for a minute, and then it's good to go, and I just leave it on half all day. If it doesn't, then you're kind of screwed. So I'll probably set this down and let me give it a whirl, see if we're lucky today. Give it full gas. There it is right there. Oh, so there we are. So that was a startup procedure if you're lucky. Not too bad, but I run that for about 10 seconds and my hands are vibrating, so it's one of those things that I never do above 10 minutes. But the good thing is gas powered. Now I'm going to do the Ego, and the Ego's got this removable battery. You go charge that inside. You're going to push this lever down and pull this guy. That's how you're going to start it. I still have the bump feed on this one down here. It's got a bump feed with a double string. One thing I don't like is this is where your elbow goes. So if I'm trying to hold this, I'm one of those people who have short arms but a long torso, is it doesn't really fit. It's a little too high down there. And I might think about changing the bump head. I had changed the bump head on the other one. I should probably show you that bump head, or at least take a picture of that other bump. I had replaced the bump head on the Homelite, and that's been a beautiful system, that 3-prong gorilla type tough weeder. But let's go ahead and run this one through the startup routine. So same type of thing, you hold this down, pull it, done. So the bad thing about these is they're electric, and the batteries are about 130 bucks if you need to replace it. Power wise, it's pretty strong. It's quieter. It's not quite as strong as the gas, but it's plenty good for what you do most of the time. When you get into some deep stuff, the motor will whine a little bit, and that's when you know you're using a lot of power. I've had it last about a half an hour with some pretty heavy pretty heavy cutting down on some weeds and stuff like that. Otherwise it probably runs about 40-45 minutes, but then you have to recharge it, so that comes up somewhat quickly, but that's okay. It's like a built-in break for you. They get recharged in like a half an hour or so. While I got this one out here, I want to show you this bump head. This one here comes with a bump head, and it's kind of tall, which I don't like so far. You got to tilt it a lot, but this is the one that I put on my old Homelite, and you just feed these replacement strings in like this, and usually they're a little bit longer. This one's cut down a little bit, but what I like about it, it's nice and flat, so you never really needed to tilt it a whole lot. I might end up getting one of these for the Ego if it fits, if I can figure out how to do that, or if it works. But I always like that as opposed to the stringing method. I haven't done the stringing method on the Ego quite yet. I haven't burnt through. I think it has about 8 feet times 2. But anyways, that's the review. So good luck.